We look at the news through a horror lens. We lens news through horror. We horror news. Welcome to the Lost and Known Podcast. My name is Scott.
And I'm Jeremiah.
We are back for episode 364.
Yes, and we should note, so last week I mentioned I was going to bring a movie to the table.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
So we're not doing that this week. We're going to do a web droppings week, which actually is kind of fun. We've been looking forward to getting back into the web droppings anyway because of some ChatGPT stuff we've been messing with. But also, there's a sound of my cat playing with a smoking monkey in the background. And
not the NFT.
Yes, not the NFT. Yes, this is the.
I bought $1 billion smoking monkey NFT, and I let my cat play with it.
Yeah, exactly. My cat's on the blockchain. Yeah, but
I mean, it would probably make better financial decisions than most crypto bros.
Oh, dude, I've been. We're already going off a tangent, but man, I've been ingesting so much, like just watching videos of crypto scam because, like, I mean, dude, NFTs and crypto. There's a couple of stable things you can kind of get your hands on, but even like quote unquote stable coin like Tether is. Possibly gonna
not stable coin like stable coin.
Yeah. It's like,
which is either horse based or super safe to use. But I'm not sure which I would trust more: the one that says it's safe, or the one that actually relies on whether horses do something.
Honestly, I wouldn't fucking matter.
Horses on treadmills running PC servers.
It's crazy that when you create a completely unregulated thing where you just create money out of thin air, quote unquote money out of thin air, it's almost like scammers are attracted to that. And it's almost like the more I've watched about it, the less I feel bad about the there he is. Look at that fucking
it went from I don't think it'll be picked up on mic to we're talking over it.
That's very okay. Anyway, that's my cat. But anyway, but it's to the point where now I usually am not like, okay, don't feel like you always have to feel bad for victims who get scammed, blah, blah, blah. But at some point with crypto, I'm like, I'm starting like the more and more I'm watching like the, CoffeeZilla is obviously the big one, but there's some other people who, expose these, crypto scammers, the influence scammers. I'm sorry, if by now you don't like, when Logan Paul comes out and says, I've got a great investment opportunity for you, I hate to say it, if you fucking listen, you deserve to get your fucking money taken. That's all. If I finally got to that point, it took me watching so many hours of these to just suddenly not feel bad for anybody who, nowadays, at the beginning, one thing, but like
at
now.
The beginning, it must have been weird because looking back on it now, it was like this weird, strange thing, and you could buy into it.
Yeah.
And who knew if it would just be nothing or something?
Yeah.
Like now that we all know it became something and then sank. Like it went up, it went down.
Yeah.
Cool. We're done. We're past it.
I'm not even talking about like Bitcoin and stuff. Fine. Like, that's volatile.
But I'm
like,
just saying, like,
I'm talking about rug pullers. I'm talking to scam artists who literally pump and dump.
Right. Well, I'm talking about in the future, like
Yeah.
what happens when the next thing that isn't crypto but is like it, something that you'd be like, oh, like Apple stocks. Bitcoin, there's things that you all look back on and go, oh man, if I had gotten in on that. I'm wondering when the next ground floor thing goes out, someone's like, yeah, these are sentient potatoes. Yeah. And you'd be like, that sounds crazy. Who'd invest in that? That's what everyone said about other things. And I'm worried about what
I think the problem is a lot of people got that mentality and then therefore they went, I'm not going to do any research about this new crypto coming out. This fucking shitty influencer who doesn't even have a fucking high school diploma, let alone a goddamn finance degree, is telling me to buy this.
I'd run the other way when someone that would tell me to buy something.
It's not just the new technology. The technology itself, crypto in and of itself, NFTs in and of itself, I still think there's areas for that to be something.
Crypto
and obviously,
will never die, and digital currency probably is the absolute future.
Yeah, but
at the moment, it's a shit show, and it's been run by
unfortunately,
rapists.
Unfortunately, because it's essentially just a bunch of scammers who are like, oh shit, there's a place I can go that I can make money off of I can just shill a bunch of bullshit.
Like the history of like the U.S. dollar and how it's backed by gold and how we set up all the fiduciaries and everything and all the trusts and all the banks and the whole system and how it all works together as one tightly knit thing. If let's just say cryptocurrency in the future ever becomes a solid standard, ubiquitous in every household, everyone uses it, it's what we use, and then you teach the history of it. It's like, this guy raped this girl in college, did this, and then he sold this company to this other bro who killed a guy with a jet ski.
Stole $3.8 billion from
our history of monetary like stability, like how we view the history of it, is gonna be nothing like the forefathers that we have for the dollar. It's going to be those weird, twisted Netflix miniseries kind of tale.
Well, especially since it's literally going to, like, the tale of the dollar goes from being backed by something to not being backed by something, whereas Bitcoin is going to, not Bitcoin, but cryptocurrency starts by not being backed by anything to eventually probably having to, right now, even with the Tether, which is essentially tied to the US dollar, every one piece of Tether is worth $1, but it's also only supposed to have as many pieces in circulation as there are dollars. And then they found out recently, they're like, it turns out they've just been creating a bunch more billions of them without.
Oh, you mean just like dollars?
I was like, you're sure they're actually not just actually maintaining it with the dollar? Because I'm pretty sure the Fed just prints a bunch of money all the time. So maybe they're actually keeping it in line with the dollar. Anyway, so we're not talking about crypto. We're talking about some fun new stuff today because my TV died and I have not hooked up. I spent 2 hours last night trying to get it to work and about an hour today.
Hey, you got monitors, you got laptops.
Exactly. So I'll still be able to get it by next time. I've got a backup TV. I've got monitors and stuff. But last night, granted, if I also hadn't completely waited till the last minute to watch my movie, I also could have just had it done.
I wait till the last minute too.
Yeah,
because
I wanted to be fresh in my mind.
I'm a procrastinator, and it's better fresh in your brain.
Yes, it's really because we're procrastinators, but I like justifying. I like I like it to be but I was like last night, literally in the middle of not even in the middle of it. Like started watching this movie, and my screen just went black, and I was like, maybe this is just part of the movie. And I watched for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I don't think it's doing this as an artsy thing.
You and I as podcasters really don't like being told by ourselves what to do also.
Yes, true.
I would say the movie thing could honestly be when not every other episode, not each of us doing one each a month. It could be more of a when the story hits just right.
It's true. I still feel
like this Storm Drain story could have been that's coming up. I'm leading into the show a little bit.
Yeah.
Could have been a lead into watching it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think what we should do is keep maintain the expectation of the once every other week, and if it doesn't hit. And we don't try to force it. We go to a web droppings episode and we move on because
I think forcing it's bad. I think
because we still want to hold ourselves accountable to the point where we won't just completely go like by the wayside. But we
also don't do celebrity interviews once a month like we used to do 7 years ago. We used to literally do a celebrity interview once a month. Yeah. We you used to go out of your way to like I used to have way more free time until you gave me this job.
Yeah.
Suddenly it's all gone.
Yeah. What do you know? It's just yeah. Welcome.
You really dragged me down to that pit.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Now you live to work, not work to live. How do you like that, little buddy?
It's still more enjoyable than what I did before, so thank you.
But
regardless.
So we're going to have a fun time with some web droppings, and we are going to start with a couple little updates and stuff. Now, you have a lost in thought, which we like to start the show out with occasionally. Where this is usually when you just
I didn't have one. Yeah, that's the issue.
Oh, right, you didn't have one.
I asked ChatGPT.
Yep.
What are your lost in thoughts? And I gave it some parameters. Basically, said we do a 1-sentence prompt. We talk about it, and it usually comes from a weird place. And I tried saying a pot-related place or a weed-related place, and it was like, no, drugs bad.
Yeah. It's got some parameters.
So I allowed it to generate its own. I gave it the same parameters twice, so I got 20 options. I saved my favorite 4.
Yep.
We don't need to actually discuss these like my actual lost in thoughts. This is more just like this is what it thought it could generate.
And if I had more energy to edit the show, I'd put some music behind it. But instead, here, let me just go ding 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 ding.
If aliens existed, do they have their own version of the Tooth Fairy? Why do we have drive-through banks but not drive-through parks? If ghosts are real, why don't they ever leave a tip? Why do we call it falling asleep when it feels like we're being gently lowered? And that is ChatGPT's Lost in Thoughts.
Good. All right.
I love that it gets the concept. It understands the level of weird we're going for.
Yeah.
But it's never going to be, we can never replace this segment. This is a segment that has to come from drug abuse.
Yeah, I think so. Good.
Well, I hate to say the word abuse.
Well, yeah. Proper.
It's hard to abuse pot unless you're like one of those people who like literally makes it their lifestyle.
Proper use of drugs.
Yeah.
Really. Which is to expand your mind a little bit and get lost in thought.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. We
Make
are
things funnier. Relax.
Things can be
alleviate pain.
You can actively like have some fun with some stuff and not completely fuck your life up. Which is also why there's like I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to just, do a little heroin here and there. Because I'm like, that might not be as easy. But you know what? Have a beer. I might, maybe nibble on a little stem of a mushroom or something like that.
Do you remember the old show Dragnet? Not the movie with Dan Aykroyd, but the original show.
I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
It was the first cop show ever. First cop procedural.
Yeah.
There was an episode where a husband and wife were smoking weed and put their baby in the bathtub to give it a bath.
Oh, it's one of those.
And got high and drowned the baby.
Yep.
One of the
reefer madness type stuff. Yeah, it was back in the paranoia. It'd be like,
the cops
jumped out the window.
Come and talk to the husband and wife, and they're still high. And they never go into the bathroom, so the entire time they're being interviewed about the dead baby, it's just bobbing like an apple in the tub.
Yeah. Hold on. I gotta go pop for apples again. It's just like he's got
But then you named your baby Apples. This makes a lot more sense this way.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Who's that actress who had her kid, the one I hate, Goop?
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, her kid's name is Apple.
Yeah, there's
so if her kid ever died in a bathtub, you can bob for it.
That's right. I think her child is now probably like a teenager, but yeah, you can still bob for a teenager.
If a man named Robert drowned her baby in a bathtub, you could say he was bobbing for Apple.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Bob. It's more like Bob murdered
Really
Apple.
reaching.
Yeah, more like Bob murdered
Robert Zemeckis drowned Gwyneth Paltrow's baby. What was he doing? Bobbing for Apple.
Yeah. Womp, womp, womp. No, it was a tragic murder.
Yeah.
We lost.
I thought Robert Zemeckis would be.
Yeah, really did not peg Robert Zemeckis for
an infanticide.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I'm guessing
Infanticide.
Gwyneth Paltrow's kid has got to be like, preteen by now, teenager, preteen.
She's got to be old enough to bully at this point for her name.
Yeah, but also like she's got like rich parents, so
all I can ever think of
her parents just pay people who are like.
I've thought of bullying her kid a bunch because of the name, and I always go back to the Patton Oswalt.
Hey, it's not the kid's fault, man.
The Patton Oswalt stand-up act where he talks about why retarded people don't get their own parts or parades.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, they should get it. They're a segment of the population. They just they don't do it. Then he did the whole like, we're here, or it was gay people that were retarded, and he was like, we're here, we're queer, Apple.
Yeah. Yes,
that always just clicks for me when I say the word Apple now. Patton Oswalt, he lives rent free in my brain.
Yes, actually, it was funny. I was just listening to a whole bunch of random episodes of Comedy Bang Bang recently because I gotta
rewatch that.
Mostly because Andy Daly. I listened to his podcast with Matt Gorley. And
where are you
Maria
watching
Bamford.
Comedy Bang Bang reruns? Where are they now?
So if you want to watch them. So I was actually listening to the podcast, but I actually did recently rewatch. I think I even texted you about that.
I love the show.
Yeah. So it is
seen them all. Would love to rewatch
the one. Oh, you know what? I decided it was free with ads on YouTube.
Free with that,
but it's also I think on like Plex or something like that. But also all with ads either way. But yeah, the entire series is free with ads on YouTube.
People, if you're listening, you've never seen it, watch Comedy Bang Bang.
Oh my God,
the show.
Yes.
Maybe you don't have time for a podcast in your life.
Well, especially their 3-hour podcasts, they're up to like 800 of. Yeah, so so the Andy Daly episodes,
all 3 hours.
Yeah, no, but they're
there's a lot of long
close.
ones.
They're between an hour and a half and 2 hours each. Like,
yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts that I don't listen to on the reg anymore because I should put it back in rotation. But like I was going back and listening to the Andy Daly ones where he does Dalton Wilcox. Because Dalton Wilcox is one of not only that, but also his Robert DeMille or whatever character where he's the guy who like manages the Rockettes, but he gets them hooked on heroin, so they'll do anything, and he just puts on shows for daddy. I've heard that.
Yeah, and Andy Daly is one of my absolute favorite comedians ever, and his podcast Bananas for Bonanza, but his character started on Comedy Bang Bang, where he started that character.
Daly was Interview, right? As well?
He was Review.
Review.
Yeah, review. Yep.
I finally watched the end of review, the 3 extra episodes they made to end it.
Yeah. It
was like literally 3 episodes for a season. I was like, oh, they made that to end it. I love this.
Yeah. No, they actually gave it an end, which is great. I mean, it had to be like a pretty cheap show. It's not like it had a crazy cast. It like was relatively cheap on the. It's it wasn't a Nathan for You kind of thing where like you actually. I'm not Nathan for You, but I mean,
where they
actually
bought
it was probably,
Starbucks.
It was. I was going to say it actually was probably closer to Nathan for You, but yeah, actually that's right. They did do fake Starbucks and Nathan for You. They started putting money into that toward the end. But anyway, yeah. So we're gonna
tangents.
Yeah. So we're gonna have some fun here. So AI website updates.
Yeah, if you want to go to our website, lostandhomepodcast.com, we have actually used ChatGPT to punch up the mission statement or the introductory statement on the front page of our website.
That's right.
That might sound like boring news, but if you go read it, it's actually really well done and a good example of what ChatGPT
I love the fact that we're like, hey, everybody, thanks for listening to our podcast. By the way, we had a robot punch up our stuff because we're clearly not good enough to do it.
I thought what I wrote was fine, but I'm really marveling this technology, and I think it's a good way to flex
for our
text. Show.
Yeah. And we're both tech folks, so we like to stay on top of stuff. And I've been working on some, actually quite a bit on some AI stuff. I actually have a working prototype of the fake news, fake headline generator. It's using a pretty simple model, but
we're about to launch our own version of Fox News.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, so I actually am working on I've started like the basic prototype of the back end of it, which is. It's super simple and doesn't actually use machine learning at all. But it's called Chicken GPT, and it's literally just you type something in, and there's a picture of a chicken on the screen, and then it comes back to you, goes, and then it just goes cluck 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 lays egg, and then that's it. And so anything you type in, it just clucks back to you and makes it. I'm gonna hide some Easter eggs. Little Easter eggs, get it? So you if you type in certain things, it will latch onto certain things and do something special. So it's something just to pop into my little programming portfolio. And there's no usage of machine learning whatsoever because I was messing around so much with machine learning. My head was starting to like fucking explode, learning about neural networks and stuff. And I was like, how could I make this the smartest thing everybody's all about into the dumbest thing? And I'm like, okay, I'll just do this. So and I'm thinking of actually using AI to generate a real response, so I get like a pretty good real response length of something, and then literally just replacing every word with a random series of clucks and bok.
I'm still trying to figure out how to turn Chat Roulette and Chat GPT into the same thing.
Chat Roulette GPT, yeah, GPT Roulette. Oh my God, feed it into. We've actually over the weeks we've actually made some pretty good progress on some of our little AI endeavors. So
I'm still just figuring out how to flex on Chat GPT because that's going to be my end of the creative part of this. Jared's the writer, I'm the worker, and I actually
that's right because writing is not work.
I added bios to our website as well for the two of us on the About Us page. We need to figure out what we're going to do for picks there, but at the same time, we did obituaries.
Mid-Journey.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Might as well, yeah.
Yeah, this is having like an all AI generated.
Honestly, why not?
Yeah, I mean, we had been, I showed Scott this little, again, prototype thing of messing around with training a voice cloning model on our thing. We have some, we're not going to release too much about what we want to do, but we've got some plans for something pretty silly and stupid in the future.
I think that by the end of this episode, it's like someone going, well, I bought some lumber and some concrete and a plot of land, but I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do on it.
You got to build a house?
Oh, God damn it. God damn it. They've been spying on us.
Burn it down. Martha, burn it down. Martha's
if
my
you give
wife.
enough pieces out, eventually someone's going to connect the dots. But yeah, we have our bios up on the website. They're written as obituaries. We're looking to put photos up. We let Chat GPT write them with. I had them write it with very few constraints. You can see they're tailored to both of us when you go look, because I gave 3 characterizations on each of us for it to use.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's got some hot sauce and some music stuff for you. It's got some cooking and travel stuff for me.
I like it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to utilizing the AI in these endeavors of like just kind of do a little bit of the heavy lifting for us, or maybe I don't know, completely automate certain elements of our entire process.
You build a house, you say?
Oh, God damn it! I did it again, Martha. Burn it down, honey. We can't afford to keep buying all this lumber and concrete and burn it down every time you accidentally spill it, you're building a house. I mean, it's also pretty obvious. People can see you building a house from the road. I said burn it down, Martha. Went through our savings, honey.
Anyway, so we have updates, and you brought the update to the table this week.
Yes. So way back in 2019, I tried to find in our show
back in the olden days before COVID,
the pre-COVID days, yeah,
the before times.
So I know we reported on this, but I couldn't find anything in our notes about it by just typing in Baby Shark. But I know for sure that we reported once on people. I believe it was like a park using like blaring Baby Shark to deter the homeless population from sleeping in their park. It is back. If people were like, hey, I thought Baby Shark was dead, I was like, nope. Baby Shark is still very much alive and used to deter overnight loitering now in a place I didn't even look up. I don't even know where this is. NYLA, fresh thread. All right. Nanaimo. I have no idea where this is. Doesn't matter. Anyway, so the store owner plays Baby Shark at just about the level of decibels that is allowed from the city ordinance to just long enough to like I think appear like 4 hours after they close, and then it stops. To deter people from sleeping right outside the store, because apparently there was an issue with people loitering and sleeping right outside the store.
They have one of those great alcoves like that you can really see yourself moving into and making your own.
It actually, it's true. It's like it's because it's like
we can put a crevasse.
It's
here.
like roofed in. Yeah, it's like because you can. It's under like extra covers.
Oh, I can see the baby. I can see the baby's cradle right there in the corner.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We can hang a mobile from the exit light.
Yeah, right before we drown the baby in the bathtub. What from smoking our marijuana cigarettes, and that's where we'll bob for apples. Robert Zemeckis here. Yeah,
part of me wants to watch more old TV based on the Dragnet story. By the way, just because it's so out of touch. Like that's 50s.
You
that's
check out
on a new level.
if you I don't know if you bothered downloading that app, Kino Cult. Kino Cult.
I watch it all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so because they've got a bunch of those like those ones that like were essentially smut, but they got away with like having pornography by being like how a woman takes a bath. And it's just like, literally, there's one called that where it's just clearly pornographic, but they're like, oh, no, this is a PSA. So, like, they were able to get around censors and stuff.
Amazon Prime also is good for that.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. It's in my queue. I have The Terror of Tiny Town from 1940.
Oh, nice.
It's an entire Western town, like saloon town, of midgets.
Oh,
and
nice.
and a midget all in black comes to the town and starts, like, raping and killing. It's black and white. 100% midget cast Western on Amazon, The Terror of Tiny Town.
That sounds fucking amazing.
I want to say it's 1940, but it might have been 1934. I'm really not.
This is like John Wayne heyday kind of, or like
no, this is John Wayne.
It was actually about
not even born.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, John Wayne was born, but like he was. I
don't know. I'm not good with numbers.
Well, John Wayne was acting in the 40s.
Here, I'm looking up right now. It's in my queue.
Yeah.
Movies you think?
Yeah, I think John Wayne was doing shit in like the 40s.
Yeah, we're doing this, people. We're actually going to my queue while we're on air.
Yeah,
Content
I like
type.
that.
We're doing movies. There it is. The Terror of Tiny Town, 1938.
Okay, so this is like
61 minutes long, 4.5 stars out of 282 reviews. IMDb has it at 3.9. It is an hour and 2 minutes. Came out in 1939.
Wow, I got to check it out.
Suspense action. An evil gunslinging midget comes to terrorize the good little people of Tiny Town. The townspeople organize to defeat him, and zany antics ensue.
Yeah, so that was about 15 years before.
Contains violence, alcohol use, and smoking.
So that was like that. Yeah, that was like early fucking westerns, man. That was like some of the earliest westerns, man. Because like I mean, I remember like so. Yeah, John Wayne was in some movies in the 40s, like about 10 years, almost 10 years after that when he started. So
yep. So this is a 1938 black and white.
Okay, I guess John Wayne started
Western
technically
movie.
in like 1944, but yeah, that was like.
But I'm saying this predates everything.
Yeah. Oh, I guess he was in the life of Jimmy Dolan. In
1 hour.
But
it's in your queue. I guess I don't want to be too.
It.
I don't want to be too insensitive. Like I'm not going to watch it to laugh at midgets. I just think the concept.
No, the concept
of an all midget movie.
I actually think like they could like turn that into something. Because first of all, like having like casts like Willow or stuff where they
the first Willow movie is like 90% midget.
Yeah, no, they said it was the biggest casting call since Wizard of Oz for little people.
What about Return of the Jedi?
And No, it was
really
that. Yeah. Oh,
because
way
there
bigger
were
than
a
that.
lot of fucking Ewoks.
Yeah, do you not remember
Not
how many? No,
they had to be careful because Wookiee's tall, Ewok short.
Yeah, I think they were played by the same
creature.
6 people because they didn't have to worry about it. They just put different heads on them. But like they
they outsourced midget work to extra special effects people who were able-sized.
Oh, I don't know. I
hope they hired midgets to make those Ewok heads.
Yeah.
Because if they're like, we can hire 3 midgets and have them be 100 Ewoks.
No, but really what I was thinking...
That means I want 97 Ewok makers.
Yeah, I just remember them saying, like, Willow was, like, the largest... it may have been the largest casting call in history for...
Dude, the entire first third of the movie, there's only, like, a scene where tall people are in it. It's all midgets.
Yeah.
And then also tall people shrunk down because they do the brownies.
That's true. That was insensitive. Yeah.
That was the insensitive part of it.
They could have real tiny,
brownies.
Yeah. And don't get me started on those Daikini babies.
Yeah, Amazon Prime, Terror of Tiny Town. Have not watched it yet. It's been in my queue for probably 3 weeks.
Oh, you haven't even watched it? Okay.
No, I'm dying to. I need to find the right headspace. I guess I'm bringing my wife to work tonight. Well, I'm bringing my wife to work tonight. I get the house to myself, so
probably
gonna do some time down.
Oh, I guess we have to look at the time. I didn't realize you were bringing your wife to work tonight.
At 10:30.
Oh, okay. That do not have to. If we have to look at the time, then I have already missed the work obligation that we're supposed to be doing.
No, it's like 5 hours from now.
Okay, usually it's like 6:30 or something like that. Oh, shit, we got 40 minutes. All right. But anyway, so let's... either way, we'll get back to the stories at hand. You have an update based on... Oh, yeah. So anyway, Baby Shark, Bing Bong Boom, 65 decibels, trying to get people to not sleep there anymore. And the guy originally was like, I was going to originally...
Put spikes in the ground.
Oh, he was actually going to put up a gate that was going to cost like $20,000, but he was like, I was going to play heavy metal, but he was like, but also apparently like
he might like it.
But he was like, but that would piss me off, so I didn't want to do that. So yeah, I'm just he
could have played the country music he loves. That would have also kept people away.
Apparently, yeah. But yes, you have an update of your, which I actually noticed just the other day. I also canceled this streaming service.
Episode 361 of the show, just a few back.
I have this for 3 more days, so I actually might check this out.
We reviewed Violent Night, and it's now streaming on Peacock. Although it looks like it's streaming on Peacock if you have the commercial-free version, not the commercial version.
Oh well, no, I have the.
I have the commercial version, and it basically had like an upgrade type button to watch it. It said, like, do something to watch it. And I was like, normally it's play or add to queue, but I forgot what it said.
Yeah, no, I looked at it today, because I have the regular commercial version, not the free.
I have the commercial version,
I don't have the free version, I have the commercial paid version.
I have the version you pay $20 a year for that has commercials.
Okay, yeah.
What is that? Limited commercials?
Maybe, yeah. Either way, I've got the one that normally costs $5 a month, but I tried to cancel, and they're like, "Why do you give us $2 a month for it, or whatever?"
Yeah, so. I did it. It said like Peacock 1 year, $20, and I was like, "Yeah, 20, fucking sure."
Yeah. It's why I keep re-upping Curiosity Stream. It's like it's $12 a year. But I almost feel bad.
But I have
for you guys.
ads, and that annoys me. And there's a free ad version, so what am I paying for?
Well, there's stuff that isn't available. On the because the free version, there's a lot of stuff that isn't available.
So you probably on the free version can't watch Violent Night.
Yeah, you definitely can't watch Violent Night. You can't watch the Halloween movies on the free version.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thank you for schooling me on that. I've never.
Because I actually
never cared to look.
So so what you do is you pay for a larger catalog, but still watch commercials, and then if you want to pay the $10 a month, you get everything plus ad free.
Yeah. Gotcha. Violent Night on Peacock Plus.
Yeah.
Is plus?
Peacock Plus. Fuck it.
Is it a plus? Is it
Peacock
one of the pluses?
Plus Max.
Is that one of them?
Everything's a plus or a max these days. You were just joking recently about wishing they made HBO minus or something like that. I realized like they have. It's literally now HBO Max.
HBO Max. It's minus.
HBO minus. Yeah, because it's like HBO Max Plus or HBO minus.
Hey, Velma should run for president in 2024. Both sides agree on Velma.
Talk about one thing that brings like
everyone on Earth hates Velma. Yeah. Republicans, conservatives, woke, socialist warriors,
the biggest kumbaya moment we've ever had is banding together as a group, be like, so we all fucking hate this bitch, right? Yeah, and not just because for all different reasons, but
it's also digging up all the shady shit about her and her family, which I kind of dig because I do not like Mindy. Do you know her brother pretended to be black to get into college?
No, but I do know that
he's dark-skinned Indian. He wrote a book about it there's a published book out there where he explains how he used his dark-skinned Indian complexion to pretend to be black and get black scholarships to go to college for free.
And meanwhile, we're shitting on George Santos, Anthony DeVolder.
Hey, Santos went up 9 levels in my book. Sure, he lied about every aspect of who he is and what a human is on Earth,
including his name.
But he used to be drag.
Yeah, but he's
I guess we're good now, right?
But he's lied about it because he's like, oh, that's the one thing that Republicans can't stand. They're okay with me lying about being Jew-ish, and also about literally stealing money from a homeless veteran's dying dog.
And whether his parents are alive or dead or not, whether they died in 9/11 or not.
No, because he's reported on his mother's death twice in 2 different, completely different times. It was Stephen Colbert made a pretty funny thing about that.
That dude isn't a real human being.
Just being like, but in his defense, he needed that money to pay for his mother's 3rd funeral.
What I really fucking hate is there's going to be a really good movie about him someday. Yeah. It's going to be like Tom Hanks in Catch Me If You Can, like one of those type of movies.
Anthony DeVolder is George Santos as Tom Hanks in the Anthony DeVolder, George Santos fucking...
Like, I want him kicked out of politics and probably put in jail for everything he did. As far as I can tell, he's just a criminal.
Well, the criminal aspects are actually coming out from the shit from the Brazil fucking shit, but also there's the ethics complaints. But
he's a living lie.
Yes, he is. He's pathological. I should. It is definitely a psychological.
Which is why I want to watch a movie about him 20 years down the road, and I will love it. But right now, in current history, he's deciding on bills and stuff. We don't even know if his name is his real name.
He's on the science committee.
Yeah, we don't know if his name is his real name.
The guy has never known truth, and he's on a committee that should be all about empirical truth.
We don't know his age.
Yep.
I wouldn't believe him if he says he lives at like 1-2 Point Street in Nevada. Yep. No, I wouldn't believe that. If he says he has kids,
I definitely wouldn't believe it, because looking up here on the internet, I want
a blood test.
Looks like 1-2 Point Street does not exist in Nevada.
Yeah, they don't.
Scott, you got onto something.
They don't usually do decimals for streets.
1-2 Point Street.
Oh yeah, you live on .001 Dewey Street.
Yeah, that's right.
We use the Dewey Decimal System out here for the houses.
Yeah, I live on Pi E Squared Street.
Do the math, figure it out, find me. Dominoes, I'm looking at you. Yep. Looking at you, Dominoes.
How do you get the square root of -1 street?
Oh, another free pizza.
It's imaginary, bitch.
I racked up 23 free pizzas from the Never delivery, but I'll never be able to cash in on them.
You just had to live on an imaginary number street.
Never be able to cash in on them because they'll never find me.
Oh man, yeah, Complex Avenue. I'm just gonna go way too into my fucking nerdy math jokes now. Which is great.
I ordered a pizza the other day because I was bored and not wanting to cook, and it was from Domino's. And it arrived, and I was like, "Cool, I got my pizza." And then I got 2 emails back to back giving me free pizzas.
Fine,
and they're like, "Sorry about your order. We got some free pizzas for you, both of them." Yeah. And then I looked at my watch. I looked at the clock, and I was like, "It arrived on time." I looked at the pizza, it had all the toppings.
Yeah, there's no real timing thing anymore anyway.
What are they feeling guilty about?
Yeah. You're like, should I be eating this or should I just...
I sat there for a while and I was like...
Well, there was just something...
Like, somebody flagged this pizza. They didn't flag it so hard as to give me a free one. They gave me 2. I love the asshole on the other end intentionally social engineering. Be like, we're going to fuck with this guy. He's not going to even eat the one he gave him.
Oh, God. Honey, I'm really hungry, but... There might be rat poison on this.
That's all I could think of. I was like, what is wrong with this? And I ate it. It was fucking delicious. It was one of their Brooklyn styles. Yeah. I only eat the Brooklyn style.
Yeah, same here. So like the soggy fucking thin crust.
If you don't eat the Brooklyn style Domino's pizza, you're eating a shitty frozen pizza. You can just go down to the fucking
at least if you get the Brooklyn style, you're eating a shitty thin pizza. Yeah. And that's better.
Less empty
New York
carbs.
style. It's New York. Oh, it's Brooklyn style. Yeah.
Less empty carbs. You're eating real pizza.
Yeah. It's a lot of toppings and very little bread.
Yep, that's how I like it.
Yes, right.
And I got scared shitless when I saw those emails rolling as I'm opening my box.
Yeah,
like, we're really sorry. Here's a free pizza. Oh, God. And I closed the box. I'm like, yeah, you know what? It's probably a glitch. And I started opening the box again. We're really sorry. Here's another free pizza, but no other warnings. Yeah. Just really apologetic.
The subject line in all caps. We hope this got to you in time.
Still gonna eat it.
You know what? It did, but Well, free pizzas sound pretty good.
Also, if this really affects me negatively, go to the hospital. You don't just get your medical bills. You get pain and suffering money.
Exactly.
That's a lot of free pizzas.
Yeah, exactly. You guys gonna give me suffering pizza?
I'll take the suffering. Yeah. You want the suffering or the suffrage you were cutting out there?
Yeah.
What is on the suffrage pie?
Oh, God. I could make a lot of bad jokes.
I know, we won't. We can move on, though.
Yeah, web droppings.
Web
droppings 2023, you and me dropping all the webs, dropping it down to the town, doom boom, free pizza, rip, free pizza, don't eat that, free pizza.
I like that theme song for our web dropping segment could also be reused by a Spider-Man versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie.
Think so?
Yeah, web droppings, living up the town, free pizza.
Yeah, that's right.
When they finally do it
on the pizza, man. Yeah, peanut butter on the pizza, man. Michelangelo talking about pizza, man. All my other friends died of diabetes. I'm the one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
It still says it plural, though. I'm the one Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's right. I buried my friends.
At least you were born with your own coffin.
Teenage Mutant
They just suck into this shell. Okay, as anyone owns a turtle out there, I've never owned one as a pet. When they die, do they just shrivel into their own cell?
You just like drop it into a pit. Yeah.
They're born with their own coffin.
Yeah. This house to coffin in 2 minutes. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
Coffin in a half shell.
Yeah, that's right. I buried my friends yesterday. Heroes in a half shell. Just hero. Turtle power. All right.
All right. You brought the first story to the table.
Texas bill wants food made from fetuses to be clearly labeled. Now,
I want that too, by the way. Can we just make that a clear point on the show?
I actually think it's totally fine to expect this. At first, I was like, what are they talking about? Is this a thing? Turns out it's not really a thing. There are not technically any foods being currently made with...
not even hot sauces?
They're
it's
not,
Texas.
There's not like...
Oh, it's some Texas hot baby back rib, baby-based hot sauce.
Yeah, that's
baby
right.
Baby-based hot sauce.
Basted, yeah.
Baby-based hot sauce.
But so remember when I was mentioning earlier that I was looking on one of those stock photo websites for some like images for like personal use. The thing I was looking for was I just wanted to find a picture of a man with his hand in a potato chip bag eating potato chips.
That's easy.
Because then I was just gonna was gonna superimpose.
You can just ask me at home, like, can you just have your wife take a picture of you with a hand in a potato bag, and I can just send it to you.
That's true.
It'd be free and probably quicker.
Yeah. Because I tried to get Oscar to take a picture of me, and he just he
and you could also yell at me and be like, "No, you're doing it wrong," and you can't do that with like photo deposit sites.
Yeah. Well, so I didn't find the perfect one, but the reason I wanted
chips, go to the store, asshole, and buy what I expected.
And actually, if you do that, then you might as well cover the chip bag with green tape because I want to superimpose like essentially Cheetos, but they're called fetus puffs. And they.
So what if I just used a green pillowcase?
Same thing. It's fine.
Because you're taking it out, right?
Yeah, well, exactly. And then you just put your hand behind it.
I've got green pillowcases.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can green screen them out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll just wear no green.
It just needs to be green screen so I can put a fake chip bag in there and put fetus puffs in there because they look like little Cheetos, but they're just cheese dusted fetuses.
I will literally have Kelly do that with me tonight.
In fact, we'll call them Fetos.
Fetos. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But like they're literally like they're just like because Cheetos are already curled like that, like little like baby fetuses.
I can see that being on that '90s show thing, like he's eating Fetos and then he wants to touch the girl and she's like, "No, you can't finger me after eating Fetos. I'm not getting pregnant from some weird powdered baby dust."
Yeah,
that's how sperm and babies work.
And the '90s.
Everything was extreme in the 90s. I feel like if you were to finger a girl after eating Fetos, she would get extreme pregnant.
Yeah, oh my god. And so
it would skip all the stages. You'd not be putting sperm into her egg.
You'd be putting a straight
You'd be putting babies in.
Oh yeah, like AIDS
babies.
It was the 90s. You know?
I mean, that was the last decade we were scared of AIDS, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Good thing we fixed that.
Yeah, we pretty much did.
Fuck you, Reagan, in your face.
That's right. Swept that right under the rug, didn't we? Yep. But I wanted to do something like because I just imagined like essentially just cheese dusted fetuses.
Cheesy poof babies.
Yeah, cheesy poof babies. So
little
Fetos. So anyway, so it turns out
you really could finger that right up into someone, couldn't you? And it would just take. The science works. Keep going.
I don't think that you... I like the fact that you were like, I just thought about it for a little while, and I believe that is... You know what? You could do that.
You could.
Honey?
I think the Cheeto dust is like a protective anti-biological agent like thing. It like keeps the bacteria from killing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's a lot of harmful bacteria and viruses.
Immortalizes it.
Fungus.
Yeah. Just dump your aborted fetuses into a trash can filled with Cheetos dust, and Fetos is born.
I almost feel like the Fetos would need to be in one of those big plastic tubs that like pork rinds and Cheetos, cheesy poofs come in.
Yeah, like, oh, you mean like the big plastic tubs from like Walmart or whatever.
Cut, like into a swear jar bank, like it's so big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like the actual round like cheesy poofs.
That would almost be better than
I like the cheese. I actually like the cheese balls better than like the actual Cheetos, and those are cheaper.
Me too.
They're a little tougher, like they're a little like crispier, and they're super cheap. But I like them
I don't like
better.
either anymore. That honestly, if you put them in front of me, I'll eat them, but I won't.
No. So my problem is the ones that give me the problem are crunchy Cheetos. I can't
the small spiral ones.
The crunchy ones. If I get the crunchy ones.
It's like giving me
I can eat an entire bag of those, so I just don't buy them because I'm not a big chip person usually. But if somebody puts a bag of like especially the jalapeno cheddar crunchy Cheetos in front of me, I will eat an entire bag of them, feel like shit, and then buy another bag.
I try to do chips that are too spicy for me, so I'm limited to what I can consume. You know the ass burning ones.
Yeah, but I've never really had like real spicy chips.
Yeah, I have. I'm a wuss compared to you.
But I don't know. I've got some spicy. They're chili mango, like dried mango with like chili dust on them that my sister bought me from Trader Joe's the other day. I haven't tried them yet. They look pretty good.
I bought store brand ranch Doritos, and instead of Cool Ranch, they were called Glacial Ranch, and I didn't get the one-to-one comparison. I brought them home, and I was like, honey, I bought ranch chips, but they're called Glacial, and I have no fucking idea what that has to do with chips. She goes, because the other ones are called Cool. I'm like,
yeah.
You jumped the mental hurdle that I didn't even think to jump.
I'm gonna put a Cheetos baby in your pussy tonight.
Store brand Glacial Ranch chips have like 3 times the coating of Cool Ranch, which actually makes them dangerous for your heart, but super good to eat.
You don't know where they come from. Those are probably just the defunct ones that come off the line that have too much dusting on them. They're still probably made by Cheetos Lay Dorito or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, they just like push them off the side. Each chip weighs more.
Yeah,
so they like they fall off.
They like generally when you buy those like the generic store brands, they're from the same companies that do these other ones, but they're like the ones that they can't sell.
I love that. When I was a kid, Ben and Jerry's. We live in Vermont. Ben and Jerry's is close to us.
The seconds.
Every store had a cooler.
The factory seconds ones.
Factory seconds,
like $1.
This was a Vermont thing. If you didn't live in Vermont, you didn't experience.
Well, no, because this was just like they would just drop their factory seconds off
and local stores.
I just remember like getting an entire Heath bar. It was vanilla ice cream with one Heath bar stuffed down the middle.
Fucked right in the middle.
Yeah, it was just like, this is the way Heath bar crunch should be made.
No, I would do
crumble your own
mint cookie Oreo. Well, mint cookies, what they do now, they sever ties with Oreo because
it's stuff that didn't pass their like the muster of their quality control.
You get like 9 whole Oreo cookies in a tub of ice cream.
And you're like, I mean, I wish they made it this way all the time, but at the same time, it wouldn't cost $1 a pint. It cost $4.99.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, we used to love eating the fake stuff. Like
they were bought by Haagen-Dazs.
Factory seconds were fucked up in good ways. You'd never get like chocolate chip cookie dough and get no cookie dough.
Yeah.
You get only cookie dough.
Yeah. You're like, we forgot the ice cream. Oh man, I'm just gonna go off on a tangent here because
that was before cookie dough was sold in tubes too. Like we just buy.
We used to do we've mentioned it so many times in the show. Anybody who has not seen it needs to watch the show Xavier Renegade Angel, which is one of my favorites.
It's a great show.
There's just that episode where they're just like, we accidentally mixed up the tampon factory with the cookie factory. Now we have the most absorbent cookies on the planet. And it's like so ridiculous. And they're like, we made an oopsie or whatever. Oh my god! Still like it's some of the funniest, fucking most cleverest shit. Vernon Chapman is a fucking genius. Anyway, so not even okay. We're about done the show, and we got one story.
I know,
and I actually haven't really talked about it that much. Anyway, SB 314 in Texas says any food product contains fetal tissue cells, blah blah blah, needs to be conspicuously labeled before it can be sold.
Very big label.
Now here's the thing that doesn't actually exist yet, but the reason they have introduced this is because apparently there are some plans for there to be some products, not necessarily food products made, but like some products made with fetal tissue, and they're like, well, we're gonna get ahead of this one. So honestly, I'm actually not too against this, because it's one thing for people like, oh, we want GMOs labeled. I'm like, well, GMO isn't a thing. That's a science. I'm like, that's a little hard. That's a little harder to like track the whole trade. But this is like, oh, if
your average
baby
person
cells,
against GMOs too isn't that educated about GMOs.
But if I'm buying, I'm not gonna not buy something that tastes good just because it has fetal tissue cells in it. I'm still gonna buy it. I don't give a shit.
Now with more baby.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's right. Fetos. Now with more baby. Yeah.
I mean, if they came out tomorrow and was like, spam is mostly fetal tissue, I'd be like,
now with less baby. Yeah. I just like the fact that you buy like Haagen-Dazs ice cream and it says now with more baby. Like, more? Wait, so there was already baby in it?
I mean, that would be truth in advertising. If they already had fetal cells in it and then they had to disclose,
there's more.
The disclosure would probably be more proper saying more.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Now with more baby. Wait.
I guess what would happen, honestly, is it would silently happen. There'd be no talk. There'd be no nothing. There'd be a little circle, like, stamp on the side of the bottle that you probably wouldn't even fucking notice.
Yep.
They probably do market research, asking people literally to walk into a fake store and pick up the bottles, with cameras looking at their hands, seeing what parts they cover when they pick up a random bottle. Be like, oh, the thumb always covers the left, right side, right on the edge.
Yep.
Put the sticker there, because they'll always cover it with their thumb.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, like, sort of what they did with the GMO labeling, which, again, I thought GMO labeling was bullshit, and I'm a fucking crunchy progressive liberal. I just, like,
we both have a very liberal friend who is staunchly anti-GMO, so much so that he legislated against it. And I've never understood it because the science is sound. It's fine.
Well, but no, the problem is
it feels like a fear
because
tactic.
it's conflating Monsanto, the company, with the entire science itself. Yeah. It's saying we should not have this. We have to label something like, we should know what's in our food. I'm like, GMO isn't a thing in your food. It's how the food was. Well, like,
all food is GMO.
That's like, dude. None of us. I was gonna say, none of us has ever eaten a real banana because we would fucking puke if we ate a real banana. It's shit has been GMO'd so many times. Now, if you want to know that there's like certain stuff in your food that came from a certain company, just read the fucking label or whatever. That's fine. I get that.
People are worried about like gene splicing, where if you eat it, you'll turn into like a serpent creature and then like vomit out your organs. Which has never happened. No GMOs
and the thing that irritated this is like my friends who argued like against that were also the same people who would very clearly be like, and justifiably be, very like argue against people who are arguing against climate change, and like people like, it's a hoax. Be like, pay attention to the science. And then the same exact scientists are saying this thing. We're like, yeah, I don't like to believe that though. So I'm just gonna fucking believe this over here. I'm like, you guys are contextualizing. So instead of actually you believing in the science, you're saying, well, when the science is convenient for me, I'm going to believe it. But I really want to believe this. So those same scientists that say the exact same thing that I don't want to hear, now I'm not going to listen to that science. So I'm going to contextualize and only listen to the small fraction of shit that confirms things I care about, and then shit on people over here for saying something else.
Hey, sometimes that works in our benefit. Remember, Santos there. Drag queen.
Yeah.
Republicans might kick him out of office, not for all the lying, but for that one thing they're going to pay attention to.
Remember, it was like Madison Cawthorn, like all the bullshit he went through, and then finally
they threw his dick in his cousin's mouth.
Yeah, he was like that. He was like, I saw a Republican doing cocaine once, and they had sex, and also I fucked my cousin's face, and he's a dude. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, you fucked your cousin's face. We've all done that. But he was the man. Oh, God damn it. By the way, we've also all done that, but we can't.
Those creatures eat themselves. Look at Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene.
I love it.
Yeah, they're fighting.
MTG's even saying, like, conspiracy theorists, bitches, shouldn't be allowed fucking committees. And they're getting fights in bathrooms.
Says Space Laser Woman.
I fucking love it. Anyway, so I'm going to go to the next story here. Woman suing concert venue after getting so drunk at Marilyn Manson concert, she blew up her house, blew up the half the neighborhood.
House.
I was going to say, blew up half the neighborhood, I should say. A woman is suing a concert venue after she got drunk at a Marilyn Manson show. She blew up a house. She drove into a house, driving home. She was 26. Is 26. The Budweiser Gardens. Who would have thought you would have gotten drunk at Budweiser Gardens? Come on. Jesus Christ. In London, Ontario, August 2019, she crashed into a house, causing an explosion. The explosion destroyed 4 houses and injured 7 people. Falling embers caused fires at several homes nearby. The entire neighborhood had to be evacuated. The explosions reportedly caused somewhere between $10 and $15 million in damage.
That's insane. She must have crashed into a very rich neighborhood, too.
Yeah.
Those numbers seem high.
Yeah, so the key here is the reason this is back in the news is she's actually filed a lawsuit against the Ontario Food Services, the company that held... So this has already happened, by the way. This has all happened. She was sentenced to 3 years in prison.
Yes, we're not reporting live.
Yes. On the scene. Don't know why we showed up here. But yeah, so anyway, but in other words, like this, like, so the reason this 2019 case is in the news is not because of the case itself. It's because she's now, her and her father are suing the Ontario Food Services, the company that held the concert and served her the booze. So the suit claims the company shares liability for the explosion because it kicked Leas out of the venue without trying to prevent her from driving home. It also alleges that the venue served her while knowing she was intoxicated. Now, overserving is an issue. I also think that when people overserve you and then they just kick you out of the bar, that actually is an issue as well, because that happens all the time. But there's a little bit of personal responsibility here.
Bars are still, I mean, I worked at a restaurant that served alcohol for a long time. Bars are very, very, very responsible for you being drunk and doing bad things.
If somebody gets a DUI,
the bar
your bar gets a visit. Your bar gets a visit. They usually are not held responsible, but they do get a visit. They get a visit. They ask about
unless there's cameras in a bar, which not all bars have. It's always their word against you.
But I will say though,
although they will ask for credit card receipts, which will show how much someone put on their tab.
Yeah,
which also can be argued. I bought drinks for friends.
But also bars are like. They make money by overserving people. They're going to overserve you. You do have a responsibility.
Every bar overserves. I'm sorry,
every. You do. I mean, if it's one thing if you're causing like a big issue, or if they can really tell. But I actually think the bigger problem is when they've realized they've overserved you, they literally just kick you out and say, "Go home." Yeah. And they're like, "Oh, it's not like, oh, hey." Why don't we, I actually think that's a bigger problem than the overserving. The overserving is going to happen because
luckily, you and I live in a small community where when that happens, there's a good amount of times where someone will actually drive you home.
Oh, absolutely.
Like an employee who works there, or at least a regular who
who
isn't
lucky.
As drunk.
We're lucky there.
Can I throw that out there? We're not talking a sober driver.
No, yeah.
Who's least drunk?
Yeah. Who have we least overserved?
Yeah. That I'm gonna say it. Seen it.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely.
Seen it firsthand.
You're just like, I probably couldn't pat the breathalyzer, but I can at least like fucking get you. Like I'm not gonna drive over the double lines.
Yeah.
So I can get you home to your place, or I can. That thing is, we also live in a place that we don't have Ubers.
No public transportation.
Yeah. I mean, honestly,
my wife and I were trying to figure that out the other day. Like, what if you land at the Burlington airport at 2 a.m.? How do you get anywhere if your car isn't in the carport?
Well, at
there's nothing in Vermont.
At 2 a.m., it's actually fine because it's exactly about 30 minutes later the Greyhound comes in. They do.
There is a bus.
They do. The Greyhound comes in about an hour after the last flight comes. They're really, I think in Burlington the last flight comes through about midnight.
Weird thought my wife and I had last night. We literally
and
were like,
it costs
what
about
do you do? Like, you can't call if you don't have a friend in the States. Say you just fly in cold.
Yeah,
you're just like, I'm in Vermont. And then you're like, someone at the terminal's like, yeah, there's no public transportation, no Uber, no taxis, no blah blah. Like, you kind of
in Burlington they've got Ubers and taxis, but you just
it's still Vermont. Like,
it's
not reliable.
Oh no,
it's not 7 days a week, not 24/7.
In Burlington, it is actually. I have definitely gotten Ubers at 4 a.m. easily. Easily in Burlington.
I still think of Burlington as being enough backwater.
Burlington is the outlier in the
one because
it's all college kids.
So if you go to Brattleboro or Rutland, you're probably not getting an Uber.
No, not at all. No, not at all.
But for the listener, if you're in like Dubai right now, we have like 3 cities in our state.
Yeah, we really have one real one, and then some gross other things.
And then the state capital, which I wouldn't even call a city. It's like a big
town. Actually, we're a big town. But we don't have Uber, so that shows you. They tried to get it to show up here, and one person signed up.
We have no fast food restaurants. We have no Uber.
Yeah, and Uber was allowed to come here, and they tried, but nobody fucking signed up to do it because a bunch of spoiled kids.
In a weird little like microcosm.
Yeah, and it's fine until you need something really convenient, and then you're like.
And I'm talking like old Europe, like where you go to the countryside.
I like we were just talking about Domino's, obviously, and we were like, but like, I just remember like being not like I liked Domino's food or anything, just being excited that there was a place I could order food after 8 p.m. Because I can order food and they will bring it to me at midnight.
The pandemic did wonders for Vermont. It gave us DoorDash.
That's true.
Gave us Uber Eats, and it actually
DoorDash is still that's a coin flip though. DoorDash is like I've had multiple times where they're just like there's no drivers. Yeah. And
yeah.
Which I also feel bad because I think the restaurant makes your food, and then they don't have drivers, and then they're like the restaurant gets shafted.
You know, the cooks who work at that restaurant are underpaid woefully and probably get to take that home. So
yeah, and honestly, I'm hoping that maybe DoorDash eats it and they still pay it. I'm hoping. But
DoorDashers do get to keep meals if it's canceled once it's in their
I'm just thinking like if
they don't have to go back to the restaurant and return it.
If they don't get a driver and they don't do that, I'm hoping DoorDash still I'm hoping the restaurant has already gotten the money from DoorDash, so it's just like, okay, you paid us and we get to keep the food. Great. Anyway, so that's pretty much the extent of that story. I'm going to skip my feel-good story of the week because actually I'll just read the headline. Feel-good story of the week. 5-year-old Maine girl submits permit to own a unicorn. It's very sweet. It's sort of like one of those little feel-good stories.
So
that
the town manager's like Ron Swanson and literally goes, yeah, we'll do that. But here's your permit, your actual one.
Yeah.
And he actually did draft, which is also cute, a real permit. He was like, how do you house a unicorn? How do you feed one? They eat rainbows. They live in blah, blah, blah. He actually was like, I want to make sure you can take care of it once you get it. And gave her a fake real permit. This felt like a scene out of season 3 of Parks and Rec where Ron Swanson was dating Xena the Warrior Princess.
Yeah, exactly.
And she had the 2 kids.
Lucy Flawless, yeah.
Yeah, and he was trying to be friends with the kids.
Oh, and apparently Lucy Lawless's character is in the Evil Dead game now, or is coming out next.
Oh, they're adding her?
Yeah, Ruby, right? Yeah, so they're adding her. Yeah.
That's way overdue.
Yep.
I don't know why they're dragging out. The game hit hot, and then they're really just kind of petering it out where they're just losing.
If I ever get a TV again, I might try that.
I poke at it once in a while, but honestly, the game doesn't do a ton. Once you do it, you've done it.
Yeah.
I play it. It's fun, but I don't play.
Well, because it's sort of like the Friday the 13th game and stuff, right? Where it's like you get maps and you get the same kind of thing. It's more like
they try to push you in Evil Dead to do more. Though,
although you said there's a little bit of a there's a little bit of a story mode or something, right?
There is a story mode, complete story mode, where you play the best parts of the movies and the TV show.
Yeah, I might get you just to have fun with the story mode. Once it's drops in price, so
I haven't played story mode since I got laughed at by my own kid for not getting past a certain part. I was like, yeah, this boss keeps beating me. They're like, that's not the boss. Yeah. That's just a random person you encounter on the way to the boss. I got laughed at by my kid. Yeah. He just got beat by NPC. He keeps killing me.
It's not even supposed to be allowed.
No, it's not even a villain, just an NPC.
And you keep trying to buy berries.
Are you trying to find your way to the village? It's over there. And you look to the left and he just hit you. That doesn't feel right.
Wow, you're such a fucking beta cuck in this game that an NPC realized you were such a weak little bitch. He fucking attacked you with just a sock filled with berries.
Yeah,
it's like
not even soap or anything.
No, yeah, exactly. He was a berry salesman. You're like, hello, berry salesman. Which way to the
berries for you?
Which way to the boss? Bam! Oh, you must have been the boss. No, says your son. Yeah. Anyway. You want to go to your story here? Well, we'll end it up on one of these.
Let's see. I don't want to do the drain one until we have time to talk about it.
Okay, let's do that. We'll move that to.
So let's move on to nipples.
Okay, that's a good way to end the show on nipples.
Yeah, Free the Nipple campaign has been going for many years. We're all aware of it. Basically, it's a double standard. Men get to pose shirtless, nipples out. Women don't.
Somebody, I remember one
it's a valid argument.
One social media influencer I was following was they tried a thing and it still didn't work because they could recognize it was a female. But they tried a thing where they actually took male nipples and pasted them over their own nipples because they're clearly they're like, wow. If this is the problem, but they're like, nope. They're like, why? I literally took them from a picture from a male influencer. Those nipples were okay, and I pasted them on mine. But because you recognize I was a female with real breasts,
it's the breasts, suddenly, not the nipples.
Exactly. Yeah. But which is funny because you can still see the breasts, so clearly it is the nipples, but it's also not. It doesn't make any fucking
if you
sense.
Put a black bar over the nipples and show all the breasts,
I could never jerk off to that.
It's fine.
I just remember the first time I saw a woman naked and I couldn't get turned on because there was no black bar over it. Could you put this electrical tape over your nipples? Because I did not realize a woman looks like this, and it clearly disgusts me. I thought your nipples were a black bar.
Free the Nipple's never going to be widespread in the U.S. because of one issue. prudish old people
Puritans,
and Puritans and religious folk
Yeah.
who are like, ew, the human body's gross. Like, well, you say God made you and you're made in God's image. Isn't your body beautiful? Isn't your
remember,
body a representation of God?
Isn't the whole reason that we cover it up is because of the sin from Adam and Eve? Specifically Eve, that bitch ate that apple, that suddenly we felt shame for our body. So wouldn't it be getting closer to what God really wanted us to be if we all just started fucking being okay with our naked old bodies?
There was a period of time where we were like those old Playboy comics where it was like caveman beats girl with club, drags her in a cave, fucks her. I think we had to put clothes on women because men were so terrible. I mean, we still are as a culture. But we had to be worse before education and social media and canceling.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna just like go back and like
cancel a caveman.
Cancel all the cavemans. Oh, Grog just got canceled. Oh no, Grog canceled.
Grog lose blue check mark.
Grog is product of his environment growing up. Grog never meant no harm. Grog public apology.
But that's where I'm getting to with this. Like, the only reason that people are weird about boobs is because of puritanical, like, religious stuff.
Yeah.
And the fact that men have been so bad for so long.
And men can't control.
Had to be like, wow, all the women in the village keep getting raped by all the men. How do we fix it? Well, I noticed that Deborah over there, potato sack Deborah, the one who just wears a potato sack.
Yep.
No one fucks her.
Yeah.
No one. So should we cover them? Just potato sacks for everyone, and then dresses evolve from potato sacks.
Exactly. So
I'm putting potato sacks ahead of the cart, ahead of the clothes.
We're not scientists,
scholars.
But I think this is about how it went.
I don't know the history of fashion. I'd like to think we went from fig leaves to potato sacks.
I think we went. Yeah, we went fig leaves to potato sacks, and we definitely
that was the level of invention too.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have time to invent fire. Too busy covering nipple with potato sack.
Yep.
Wait a minute. So you guys weaved potato sack.
But I bet, like, rape and violence went down significantly once you covered up a woman from a non-cancelable man.
Well, yeah, because
let's start with that.
Yeah,
and because then you move history forward, and men got more culture.
We're like, hey, men can't control themselves because boys be boys.
I mean, basically, we're looking
how about we just continue to maybe enforce the fact that maybe when a guy just sees somebody naked, they can maybe just be like, okay, and then, I don't know, not rape. That'd be a good thing. That'd be great if we could get there.
We didn't develop in that order properly. So
no, we definitely did it backwards.
No.
Yeah, we went...
So my thought is that's why we have that Sigma 2 to this day.
I'm pretty sure we do,
literally to protect women, and now we're at a point where we'd like to say, hey, you can walk around shirtless, tits out, on a beach, just like a dude. And there should be nothing wrong with that.
There is still this unfortunate...
But we're still not there.
Yeah, there's that whole, like, victim-blaming aspect of it.
One more generation, maybe
like, listen, it'd be great, but, you're just going to tempt those men into raping you, and they can't help themselves. It's like, I can.
Maybe a generation
I'm going
to tell you,
I'm going to be honest. I've never raped. I've seen plenty of people. I've gone. I remember walking into a bar. It was at Waking Windows years ago, and there was like women greeting us, and they were completely topless, but they were painted. And I was like, "That's pretty awesome." I wasn't like, "Hooray!" Yeah. I was able to control myself.
I was wondering where you're going with that. Like, what's a few years ago into Waking Windows, and like there was just rape everywhere, and I was like, "Not for me,
not for me." Thank you very much. Wait a minute, is this legal? Oh, it's not. Okay, well, not for me then. Thank you very much. No.
Yeah, men need to basically be held accountable, like the Me Too movement has done.
How about how about a little bit of that fucking self-control people try to like preach all the time?
We will never get self-control. We never will. Not when Andrew Tate's out there in the world.
Well, he's not really.
He's not really out there in the world.
He's kind of in a. I hope he stays not in the world.
I think the day women can go topless is when all men feel accountable to the point where they would never say a word.
Andrew Tate was popular for a reason. Unfortunately, it means that like even though he's gone,
he punched
all the people who needed him are still out there. Unfortunately, and those people learned from his fucking garbage of just being like, walk around with a sword. Like there was a Vice special recently about him.
He was disgusting when he was just a fucking MMA dude. Like who the fuck? Anyone who drools over MMA, I think if they're a guy, well, first of all, women don't usually. They might like the hot bods of the little fighters, so usually little squirrely dudes.
Yeah.
But then when you get down to it, if you're a guy, I think it's more repressed homosexuality.
Oh, definitely
into MMA.
I mean, I think a lot, and a lot of it has to do with.
I think you have to be
like,
really
the way
closeted gay to like
MMA. And a lot of times, like even it's not even just like closeted gay. There's also the whole like when like men have to like wrestle and stuff like that because it's society being like we're not allowed to show affection. Women can like hug each other and be like. It's like snuggle. No, dudes can't do that.
Anyone I've ever met who got really into like collegiate wrestling, anyone I've ever met in my real life, and I've met people who are really into it, closeted gay or at least bi.
Yeah,
clearly.
I would say a lot of it just is also just
like you talk to them and you're like, yeah, you're gay.
Repressed emotional outlets where like men are not allowed to just like. Be like, oh, yeah, like, well, again, like, women will be like, I had a bad day, and they'll, like, snuggle. Not every woman, I know that's different, but, like, a lot of, like, women can feel comfortable doing that and be like, it doesn't mean...
Yeah, they'll hug each other on the couch, snuggle up.
Yeah, exactly, whereas, like, dudes can't do that.
You and I have never done that.
So, when it'd be like, in order for us to do that, guys are like, yeah, man, want to fucking wrestle? Like, you guys just want to snuggle, man, just snuggle.
If a coffee table isn't broken in the hug...
Yeah.
Well, then it's gay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right, I ain't no fucking fag.
Gotta replace my refrigerator door, too many dents in it from all the hugging.
All the fucking snuggling. Yeah, you want to fucking snuggle? The Ultimate Snuggling Championship, the UFC. Yes. All right, it's literally just UFC. We're doing the exact same thing, but we're calling it what it is. Men are snuggling. All right. So anyway, yeah, all you dudes fucking fighting and getting all tough with each other, you just want to snuggle. Fucking just hug your friend, buddy. Yeah.
When 90% of the takedown moves in collegiate wrestling, like Olympic-style wrestling, involve your dick in their mouth pretty much.
Yeah, dude.
It's the gayest thing.
One of the most underrated episodes of South Park ever is WTF, where they start their own wrestling league and stuff, but there's the real wrestling coach at the school because all the kids sign up, and like of course he tries to show him like what the fuck is this?
You just get down and hump that boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Grapple it.
He's like this is the starting move, and it's literally just a doggy style fuck move.
On top of a dude.
He's like, all right. He's like, what the fuck is this?
I remember that one.
And it's like it's such an underrated episode. It's one of my favorite episodes.
I've had that thought my entire life. Like, wow, that's the gayest thing you can do in sports.
Again, and totally fine. If you just want to snuggle and fucking and stick your dick in some things, just fucking do it.
I think I should clarify that nothing I've said is derogatory. It's just an observation.
Oh, it's an observation about of the repressive nature of like how men are supposed to act because of toxic masculinity, and people like Andrew Tate of what people consider masculine, and that you're not supposed to act a certain way. And if you do,
people consider him masculine.
Yeah. Well, no, that's exactly it. I try to point out.
He looks like a douchey version of Jim Rash.
Yeah.
Just like a douchebag version.
Oh, God, yeah.
he's got a monster tattoo somewhere.
Literally Monster Energy drink. Yeah.
The claw mark tattoo.
Yes,
he's got it somewhere
definitely,
on his body.
Probably a tramp stamp.
And no education. So he's literally the Mountain Dew version of Jim Rash. He's bald, skinny, white.
Yeah. I mean,
he's weird, he's pretty, not weird in a good way.
He's pretty jacked, but but like he's trim, he's jacked, but like he's tall. He's got like there's it's in the anyway.
He's jacked. He's in the Pussy Willow League of the MMA. It goes heavyweight, midweight, lightweight, Pussy Willow.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he actually is in the lightweight league. Yeah.
No, he looks like a fucking gamer, bro. He's so skinny.
I mean, he's
I guess I've only seen the bad photos of him being arrested. And all the photos that make him look gay online, where he's he's having pillow parties with girls.
Say, so he's maybe he's not like rock jacked. I mean, but he's toned. That's he's probably got like 2% body fat. Like he lives up to that. He fucking spends his days
raping women,
it really takes it out of you. Like, okay,
every morning I wake up and I let her out of her cell, then I try to get her back in, and that's my cardio.
Yeah. Most people like to, do 20 reps. I do 20 rapes. And we got to just go ahead and do some squats here. Anyway, that's Andrew Tate news for you.
That's our hot take on Andrew Tate. Hot take.
But again, remember, like, regardless of how fucked he is, or if he's behind bars or whatever, there's like tens of thousands of fucking lonely incel dudes who followed him who have that garbage in their fucking head.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of them are children. And don't do that, kids.
But it's just like I don't see how people can look at that and go like, oh yeah, that's a tough dude. I'm like, that's a weak little like when you have to act that tough and you have to try to bring women down that much. Yep. It shows you're so fucking afraid. Like, oh, if I actually give them equal footing, then I'm fucked. I'm like, why don't you actually just become a real human being, and maybe we could all I don't know, kind of stand on the same
Acting
fucking
tough
ground.
to make a girl like you automatically means you have no personality.
Yeah, and and you're like the ones you latch onto are the ones you can manipulate the easiest. I'm like, oh yeah, you really got it going on where you can just fucking go for the lowest hanging fruit. There, you're like, oh okay, she's got daddy issues. She's fucking 10 years younger than me. She has no idea what a fucking bad guy is or a good guy yet. So I'm just gonna fucking go in and latch onto that because that's all I can get, and that's what makes a man. And I'm gonna fucking teach Hustlers University and make a shitload of money and buy Lamborghinis and get fucking completely dissed by Greta Thunberg, which is awesome. So, way to go, Greta.
And get lost.
Get lost.